is up, everyone? Welcome back to the Pac-12 Portal Pulse, your daily Monday through Friday 15-minute look at roster moves, transfers, returns, and rebuilds for the 9 schools headed to the new Pac-12. I'm Steve Ivy. Some of you know me. Those of you that don't know me, I'm still Steve Ivy. Hey, the portal opens in just 5 days on April 7th, and today, well, it had been completely quiet yesterday, but the key word is was. Was completely quiet because this morning woke up to some breaking news that came in. Obviously, it was determined overnight. Uh, Boise State forward Andrew Meadow has announced his plans to enter the transfer portal when it opens on April 7th. The 6'7" sophomore wing forward had a very productive 2025-26 season, appearing in 32 games, averaging 12.1 points, 3.6 rebounds, 1 assist per game, shooting 51% from the field. Brought versatility from the scoring side, scoring inside and out, good athleticism, solid production. Continued what he had done as a sophomore when he earned honorable mention, all Mountain West Conference honors. He is very, very solid player. To put it in perspective, I talked about some other players. Well, let's just say he's not at the level. It's not as big a loss of a Drew Fielder, who I talked about yesterday, who was Boise's leading scorer. But Meadow offers very efficient scoring, energy, athleticism that should generate solid interest in the portal. It'll be interesting to see if he's pursued by other Pac-12 teams. He is a Southern California kid. Interesting to see if he stays on the West Coast. But it's a notable departure for Boise State. It thins their forward depth as they head into the new Pac-12. We saw, as I said, we talked about Drew Fielder yesterday. Last week we announced that R.J. Keene, four-year player for Boise State, has decided to move on as well. So we'll track where Meadow lands, and he could be a nice get for a program looking for a very solid, experienced wing. Not a superstar, but the kind of guy that's going to make a program go from good to very good. So I expect to see him get a lot of interest. More other news breaking overnight. Oregon State forward Johan Munch has entered the transfer portal. 6'11" sophomore from Denmark, appeared in 31 games, averaging 7.9 points, 5.1 rebounds, 1 assist, 0.7 steals, 0.7 blocks. He had it was a breakout year for him in 25-26. He shot 53% roughly. Regular rotation minutes, roughly 21 minutes a game, and he showed promising size and skill around the rim. This is the first I've seen of Oregon State roster turnover, as the Beavers are going to have to rebuild. They had a rough year last year. They're going to have to hire a new coach, and they'll be having to rebuild heading into the new Pac-12 era. Munch is a good, solid big man. He'll give another program a young, mobile big with upside and 2 years of eligibility remaining, and we'll keep an eye on where he goes. But we know about big men being in demand. He's going to generate some demand. But I had planned this show based on a very quiet portal day yesterday. I'm doing this daily, and we the whole point of the show was to talk about the portal being quiet. Not so now, but and to talk about the rebuilds with Gonzaga and Utah State. So we're going to go into that full deep dive mode right now. We're going to break down what Gonzaga's roster looks like heading into next season, and what Ben Jacobson's arrival means for Utah State rebuild as well. Hey, if you're out there, drop your school in the chat. I got a few people out there. My buddy Aaron Harris out there. With Meadows gone, who is Leon Rice going to yell at now? That's good. Aaron, he's going to end up in the Pac-12. You watch. He's just to torment you. He's going to come and he's going to make some other coach happy. You watch. I got this feeling he's going to stay in the Pac-12. Good player, a lot of knowledge of him within current schools. He would have been a great fit at Utah State last year. I'm not sure what how he'll fit with Jacobson. I haven't had chance to think about it, but he would have fit well in a Calhoun system because he ran the floor pretty well. So anyway, hey, let me know where you're watching from. If you're watching it live, if you're watching the video at a later time. Um, Please leave a comment or two. I like to respond to comments. I love to see comments. If you're a Zag fan, Aggie fan, somewhere in between, hey, hit the like button. Let's get into it, man. Um, so let's talk about Gonzaga. The Zags, perennial power, top 10. Obviously, going to be the main program, the standard within the new Pac-12, are losing a ton of production from seniors who carried a majority of the scoring load last year. Graham Ike, who had transferred from Wyoming, has been a stalwart big for 3 years. Jalen Warley, who spent a year there after transferring from Florida State. Ty and Grant Foster, who spent a year there, got a special waiver, joined there from Grand Canyon. He began his career at Kansas. Adam Miller, another transfer from Arizona State. Over half their offense is walking out the door. So there's a lot to replace. They do have a core returning. Guards Mario St. Superi, a forward Emmanuel Innocente, Davis Fogel, Parker Jefferson, another big who didn't play last year. Two bigs who did play. Braden Huff, who was injured, and that ended up hurting Gonzaga. Very, very important cog in the wheel. I believe broke his kneecap and missed games from January on. The Zags experienced a fall off, going from basically top five type of performance in the non-con to basically more like a top 20 team. Still very, very good, but they fell off. And then Ismailia uh, Dion, a big who played limited minutes but shown some spark. They also have another player, Steele Venters, a very, very good outside shooter. Eligibility question situation is up in the air. He's going to need a waiver. He's going to need a medical waiver to be able to play in 2026. But they have incoming freshmen too. Gonzaga brought in a great three-man class, ranked 21st in the 247 recruiting site. Guard Jack Cahill, who plays in Germany in the Bundesliga, the top league and top professional league in Germany. Um, and let's see, forward Luca Foster, who comes from the Branson School, not the Branson School, Link School in Missouri, a top prep school in Missouri, and center Sam Funches, a big from Mississippi. And so good, solid recruiting class. Gonzaga has been known to play freshmen that are ready to play, but he he it's unclear whether Mark Few how much they will play because he's going to want to make sure that he has a roster that competes at the top. They've already started announcing some schedule stuff that shows that they're going to be playing a lot of Big Ten schools in the non-conference, the Michigan States of the world. In neutral sites, they play a very aggressive schedule. They're going to want to hit the ground running. I don't expect freshmen to be able to lead them. Uh, and so I think here's the deal. They're going to be looking for experienced perimeter scoring. As I said, they lost a ton of scoring. Athletic wings who can defend and shoot. And then maybe probably another big who can stretch the floor or protect the rim. So there's 4 players already in the portal. I expect them to look nationally, but don't be surprised if they stay within a relative distance of them. Um, few people in the portal that I noticed that I think would be really good fits. I'm dying to see if they end up at Gonzaga. Christian Hammond, a 6'4" guard out of Santa Clara, 15.6 points per game, three rebounds, 2.5 assists, 1.2 steals. Denver native, played at Cherry Creek High School, dynamic scorer and playmaker who can create off the dribble. He would give the Zags some very good perimeter scoring, some good scoring from the guard position. There's a guy in the portal who they recruited, a top 20 in the nation player named Isaiah Harwell, who went to Houston, 6'6" guard, 20, 25, 26 stats, didn't play much, only 3.6 points and 2.0 rebounds per game in a very, very limited role on a loaded, as we know, Cougars team. He's very athletic with high upside size, shooting potential. This is the kind of guy I can see ended up at Gonzaga. As I said, they were very, very involved in his recruiting. He went to prep school in Utah. He is from Idaho. His brother played for Boise State. I know Boise State is speculating. There's been speculation they might go after him. I think he's a great fit for Gonzaga. I would not be surprised to see him end up at Gonzaga. As a big that they might be looking at, Kwame Evans Jr., a big from Oregon, has 1 year left, averaged 13.3 points, 7.4 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. Not a great three-point shooter, but a decent three-point shooter. Versatile athletic forward, rebounds, block shots, can stretch the floor. I also threw in Kyle Evans, a forward from UC Irvine, as a dark horse. Kyle, of course, people know, played at Colorado State his first 2 years, led the nation in blocks per game, 12 points, 8.5 rebounds, Big West Defensive Player of the Year. He's a rim protector and rebounding machine who will dominate inside if that's somebody the Zags are looking for. But, from what I've seen, I think Hammond and Kwame Evans are really, really good fits. I think, and obviously I do like Harwell as well. So any of these guys could help the Zags as they look to reload fast, and they will reload fast. They will not. They build for the future. They also build for the present. They have experience doing that over the last several years, and they have maintained a standard of excellence that allows them to be perennially a top 10 program. They use the portal well. They recruit well, and so there is some turnover, but plenty of pieces already in place and some intriguing portal options already available. We'll keep an eye on them. It's going to be exciting watching what they do. So let's talk next about Utah State and the Ben Jacobson era getting underway. I talked about Jacobson yesterday. Carson Templin, sixth man of the year from the Mountain West, has already announced that he's going in the portal, but they've lost other key seniors as well from the 29-win team. MJ Collins, guard, scorer, perimeter scorer. Drake Allen, playmaker, guard. Colby King, defender, perimeter shooter, guard. Forwards Gary Clark and forward Zach Keller. So they lost a lot of primary ball handling, perimeter scoring, perimeter defending, and big man depth. The key here is going to be, the first step is obviously retention. Jacobson is known as a culture coach. He excels at keeping players. So he's going to want to get to know, and he's got several obviously high character, high motor pieces from last year. So you can expect obviously the key retention piece first and foremost is Mason Falslev, the do everything guard and reigning Mountain West Conference Player of the Year. Absolute must. Great player. Will be back hopefully for his fourth year and leading Utah State into the Pac-12. Templin is in the portal, but he's a valuable and experienced guy and a big culture guy as well. And I would expect Jacobson to spend a lot of time talking to him, trying to bring him back as well. Those two guys are really important. They also have a pair of freshmen that featured prominently in 25-26, forward Adlan El-Amin and guard Elijah Perryman. It would be great to keep those two guys. Other returners include Luke Carney, who transferred from Air Force, saw limited action. Jordy Barnes, a guard, reserve guard, and Tucker Anderson, a 6'9" forward who transferred after his freshman year Spent his sophomore and junior years at Utah State. Started 7 games last year, got relegated to a less important bench role as the season progressed. And they do have 2 other redshirt freshmen that didn't play, but they've got needs in the portal. They've got a lot of lost production to replace. Who's they going to be targeting? Probably a physical, energetic big who can rebound and finish. Versatile wings who can score in transition, defend, guard depth. They're going to have to find another ball handler that can create and shoot. Um, Jacobson likes teams that play hard and share the ball, so he's going to be looking for very, very, consummate team players. Uh, Northern Iowa players, it'd be interesting to see who might follow. Still very early. Speculation is heating up around 2 players. A guy named Leon Bond III, a 6'5" junior guard forward who averaged 11.9 points and 4.7 rebounds last season at UNI. Started every game. Obviously fits into the Jacobson system. Would be a nice pickup. A big 6'8" forward, sophomore forward, Will Hornseth, 11.1 points and 4.6 rebounds, played solid minutes. Both know Jacobson's system extremely well. Nothing confirmed yet. Obviously, they're not in the portal yet, but those are 2 guys to keep an eye on. Real quickly, Jacobson's player development reputation gives Utah State, I think, a real shot at retaining more of the roster than people expect, but they still need smart portal additions to fill the scoring void. So I'm going to throw out somebody to keep an eye on who might be a good fit. Colby Garland of San Jose State, who fits Jacobson's view of a lead scoring guard. If you look back a couple of years, he had a lead scoring guard named Bowen Bourne, who ended up being a 1,500-point scorer at Northern Iowa. Bowen transferred to play his last year at CSU, was a very, very good player, but Colby Garland would give that kind of lead scoring guard that Jacobson looks to have in his kind of system. So, big picture. Let's close real quickly. The big picture, Gonzaga is in reload mode. They don't rebuild, they reload, gang. Strong returning core, but they do have major holes to fill, and they will be aggressive in the portal filling. Utah State getting a culture reset with Ben Jacobson at the helm, need to balance retention with targeted portal pickups. So both programs, they're going to show how the new Pac-12 is it's going to force these teams to get really creative before as the portal storm gets ready to start next week. So anyway, that's my take on that. Give me an idea. Leave your comments. Leave if you have chat. You're out there live. Let me know what interests you more right now. Gonzaga's reload under Mark Few, Utah State's fresh start with Ben Jacobson. Let me know what you think and why. We've got a lot of a lot of thoughts here. Here's a comment on Boise State. Leon going to have a full makeover. It's going to be interesting. Any chance the Rams take a look at Kyle Evans? I don't think so. I think he's going to be out of the budget for CSU, to be honest with you. I think bigs are going for a lot of money. Drew Fielder already talking about $2 million plus. You can expect Kyle Evans will cost $1 million. I don't think CSU has it in their budget to pay a big man $1 million. So just to let you know, the guard from Santa Clara is high on the ZAG list. Desperate. He's a really, really good player, John. He's a good player. Like I said, Cherry Creek kid. False love to Cincinnati makes a lot of sense. I don't know if Utah State will keep him. I'm dying to see this because Jacobson, like I said, is a culture guy. Mason Falslove is a local legend. He's going to want to see his number retired. I have this feeling about Falslove. I think he's going to stay at Utah State, and I think he's going to be the centerpiece for Utah State's entry into the Pac-12. So anyway, good comments there. We'll get into the start thinking about closing down. I've run 20 minutes. I've gone over those darn Andrew Meadow. I had a nice 15-minute show planned until Andrew Meadow and Johan Munch decided to enter the portal. Well, that's kind of the fun of this show, by the way. I try and go real time, keeps me on my toes, keeps this old man going, keeps the juices going. I like to have fun with this portal. I don't like this time, to be honest with you, but it's fun because you watch rosters get built. We had fun at CSU last year watching 6 players get added from the portal over time, and every one of them was fun to get to know them. Everybody out there looks forward to at least getting to see and getting to know new players in their program, and it's kind of become the way of the world in the in Division I college basketball, and it's going to be exciting over the next few weeks. We'll keep an eye on who needs to be next, who needs to be aggressive in the portal. If you have any rumors of players you want me to watch, comment on them now. Leave comments. Leave some comments in the video, and we will follow up on it. Anyway, this wraps up our Portal Quiet Gonzaga and Utah State rebuild deep dive. We'll be back tomorrow with any fresh portal news as we get closer to April 7th. If you're enjoying this show, please leave a comment, as I said in the chat. Please hit a like button. Hit the subscribe button. My buddy Bowen, my puppy Bowen, look at him. He's asking you to subscribe. Bowen wants to eat this month. Please subscribe. Anyway, hey, turn on notifications. Share with anybody you know who's going to be a new Pac-12 fan that you know from any of these programs. Thanks for joining live. I appreciate it. Hey, until tomorrow, stay locked in, drive fast, take risks, keep hooping, and we'll catch you tomorrow on the next one. Peace, everybody.